Nutrition to Me with Kelly Springer. Kelly, here we go. We're going to have a great conversation today because it's all what's new with Kelly's Choice. Update us as it's November 4th when we're recording.
Well, November 4th, I have a horrible cold. So that's something new.
Your voice is better than it was for the first podcast we recorded today, by the way.
Drinking my tea,
See, you're listening to a voice coach. Just kidding. But go ahead.
So, it's already been a great fall. Kicking off in December, we're going to do our 25 days of Kelly's Choice. So make sure to go to Kelly's Choice _nutrition on Instagram, because every single day in the month of December, we're going to be giving away something fun. We have amazing prizes. We cannot wait. I think this is like our 5th year we've been doing it. So that's going to be very fun. We're getting primed and ready for that. Lots of things happening for the holidays. We're putting out some recipes. You're going to see a lot more coming there. We're getting a lot of our groups started right now. So if you have any wellness dollars that you haven't used yet, make sure to use them, and you can also use them for booking things in 2026. So what I mean by that is we have our amazing transformation program, 12 weeks. It's live interaction with the dietitian right to your work site. And you can use your wellness dollars for the end of 2025 for 26. So make sure to use up your wellness dollars if you have them. If you do have HSAs or FSAs, it's your time to use them for the dietitian. So go to kellychoice.org and you can book it there. There's a lot happening before we get to 2026.
And what are you seeing specifically now when it comes to ultimately when you're educating businesses about healthy choices and having these conversations? You talked about specifically enough talking about what dietitians do and a lot of your education you've been doing lately.
Yeah, so the dietitians, we just brought on 3 more full-time dietitians. We're growing the network exponentially because we're getting in with hospital systems. And the reason why we've been successful as a company, 13 years in as of October, which is really cool. The reason why we're successful is that we have proven ways for the dietitians to deliver the information. It's not just a handout. It's not just, hey, how are you doing? Where's your food journaling? But we're actually diving into goal setting, behavior change. And that's really, truly the difference.
Yeah, it's totally the difference. And without it, they're understanding things more, Kelly. They're able to really, the people you speak with and educate are finally saying, oh, this is an aha moment of how important it is to have a registered dietitian work with me.
Yeah, absolutely. We just did a presentation yesterday. It was only the second weekend, and so many of the employees that were on the webinar said, I've never heard this information. It's never been taught to me. And I think that is true across the board. People have never been educated on nutrition education. And so how can you make better decisions if you've never been educated? And that's what we're here to do. We are an education company, and we are here to truly educate to reverse and prevent chronic disease.
Exactly. And when you're able to do that, that's huge. And talk about all the chronic diseases, if you would see a registered dietitian, would be eliminated.
So everything from type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, which can lead then to your heart disease. We can help prevent heart disease. Also, fatty liver disease is a big treatable and preventable chronic disease that we can work on. Also, some of your autoimmunes, if you have a lot of inflammation, that can trigger on that autoimmune. So a lot of our chronic diseases, almost all of them, can be prevented and treatable.
Yeah, and being preventable and treatable. And see, I wouldn't think this. So you're telling me autoimmune diseases sometimes are caused because of diet?
Absolutely.
Really? So I wouldn't have known that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if we have high inflammation levels from getting in simple sugars, for instance, and those going into the body causing that inflammation, because when sugar molecules go in, they're kind of like nicking and cutting where they go, sending out that inflammation marker, which then comes in to trigger in a lower immune system, which then can lead to triggering those autoimmune diseases. So it's really interesting. Years ago, I gave this presentation and someone said, "You're telling me you can prevent autoimmune?" I'm like, yeah, I am telling you that. But it's not just, again, in America, everyone's like, oh, it's just this or that. It's really the combination of fiber-rich foods and proteins and antioxidants and all these different things in combination to help that gut biome to really improve the immune system, reduce inflammation, and then therefore reduce your risk of chronic disease and autoimmunes. So it is like a whole, trillion of education.
And the inflammation's caused by eating poorly. And that starts how young and builds up to that point.
Right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. Yes. And so, but I do have to say this is a big but. It's never too late. Somebody just asked me that recently. I was in a huge crowd at the labor group down in the Catskills, and someone raised their hand and they said, is it too late for me? And I said, no, sir, it's never too late. You can transform your body at any age. You can actually go in reverse. And that's the power of the body. It's the power of nutrition.
And so I'm going to have some conversations on some later podcasts where we kind of have an individual one talking about all these myths that are happening with all these diet fads right now, Kelly. One thing is your registered dietitian work with any diet they're working with, but they're also going to advise if it's the wrong diet, right?
Well, I think, and I was talking yesterday about this, once you understand how the body works, you understand anatomy and physiology of the human body, and then we're putting actual research-based information with that, people get the light bulb response. The light bulb turns on. They're like, oh, now I understand why I need fiber. So going full keto, it may not be the right choice. And or I need nutrients, vitamins, and I need protein. So going too long in between meals, I'm not feeding my cells. So once you understand how the body works in actual anatomy and physiology, nutrition then correlates in. So it makes sense of why we're saying to do certain things and why to have certain food combinations.
Unbelievable. That's all I have to say. It's very unbelievable. And what do you think goals for people right now, nutrition-wise, leading to the New Year's? We're going in the holidays, the hardest time to really start having the proper diet with all these candies, starting with Halloween, all the way up to the New Year. How do you do it in moderation and make sure you're getting the right kind of calories in every day?
Well, I think this is your moment to start. Honestly, start now. Book a dietitian, go to kellyschoice.org, get that dietitian today. You do not have to be another statistic of gaining that weight over the holidays and then trying to lose it in January. This is your moment. This is your year. You do not have to fall into that same routine as you did before. Book the dietitian today. We will help you and guide you how to get through those holiday parties, tips and tricks on how to change up your baking, lots of different things that we can do to help you to be the healthiest you going into 2026.
And that's huge. Be the healthiest you. And the only way to do it is go to kellyschoice.org and pick up the new weight loss era available today on Amazon. Thanks, Kelly.
You.
All right. That was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and Talk Nutrition to Me. Take care.